Hi, George here, and I'm going to show you 3 different ways to improve a bland background sky in Photoshop Elements. You've all seen these, or you have a nice picture and it's just really boring in the sky back there. Maybe you have a picture like this, just a few clouds showing in here, not a whole lot. Or you have a picture like this, where there just really isn't any kind of a background at all. We can easily take care of all of those using sky pictures or other techniques. Okay, start off with the easy one here. I'll just grab the horse picture right there. Let's maximize that. There we go. And for this, go up here to the guided edits. And this is relatively new. This works in later versions of Photoshop Elements. And it's under special edits and perfect landscape. Your first option here is to straighten your image if you need to. This doesn't need that. Second one is to remove haze if you have any haze problems. There's no haze problem in here. And the third one is just to choose a new sky. I'll just grab this one right here. And when you do that, Photoshop Elements goes in, finds the sky, removes the sky area, puts a mask on that, and then puts the photograph in behind, and it's that fast and that easy. And as you can see, that looks just absolutely perfect. Now, the nice thing about this tool is you can very quickly change skies. Just choose a new sky. It's going to go ahead, bring that in. Notice it's also matching the color tone. And there's the new sky. There are a lot of skies to choose from in here. Start off with blue skies. We have some sunset skies. And then moving into evening and some night skies down below. Not a huge list, but it's enough for most uses. You also can come down here and adjust the opacity. So you can show some of the original sky behind. Sometimes that helps to soften out the effect like that. And you can also come in and adjust the brightness of the sky. So some real fast, easy adjustments. There's an auto match color tone, but I found that sometimes causes some odd issues. So I prefer doing this afterwards when we're back over into the expert or advanced mode. And also sometimes you may need to adjust edges in here. You can do that with the shift edge option right here or the refine edge tool. And there's even a spot healing brush if you need that. But I think this looks perfect. Let's go ahead and click on next. I'll just choose to take this over to in advanced. This is for Photoshop Elements 2025 and 2026. In earlier versions, this would say in expert. Let's get these out of the way. And here's a new image. Creates a layer mask, brings the sky in, adjusts brightness, creates a layer mask for this whole section, and then merges all of that together into one new picture at the top. If I hide that one, I can then come in here and change the different aspects if I wanted to, just by changing these regular layers. I can come in here, for instance, and I can readjust the brightness and contrast just by clicking on that icon. So here's our original, and here's that new background. Real easy with perfect landscape. And perfect landscape works with anything. It doesn't have to be an actual landscape. We'll go here to our second option, and this one I want to just replace the whole background completely with a new picture. So what we need is a layer mask, masking the squirrel out, the dog on the table, and leaving everything else blank in behind. And for that, I'll go up here to select. Let's try select subject and see what we get. And that looks real nice. Now you may have some edges that need a little bit of adjusting, like right in through here. I'm going to bring down my brush size with the left square bracket key. We're on the mask right now. Let's just adjust it so it says selection instead of mask. And notice here we don't have everything selected. So I have this set at add. We're on the selection brush. Now the selection brush just paints in like that. It doesn't do any work for you. It just paints in like a paintbrush. Let's switch over here to the quick selection tool. And you can use this to come in here and just point to the parts that you want to have in your selection. And it should find those edges. There we go. Real nice selection now. It's a little odd on the hair right in here. I'm going to come down here and do a refined edge on this. Let's change the view mode here to overlay so I can see that edge. There we go. And just right in here where I had some hairs flying out. I just want to do a little bit of adjustment there. Output 2. Let's set this down here to new layer with layer mask. Choose OK. We've now removed that background. That easy. Okay, let's go back over here to the photo bin. And I'll grab one of the photos in here. Let's just take this one like that. I'll float this in here. Now, if you don't have floating windows, which are really useful sometimes, go up here to the Edit menu, come down to Preferences and General, and that's right here, Enable Floating Document Window Docking, and allow floating documents in advanced mode. Normally, this is not selected, so just come down here, put a check on that one, and you're all set. I also like to have Zoom with Scroll Wheel selected there as well, since we're right here, and choose OK. Now, I can just go over here, grab the background, drag it onto this image, and it drops that in. So it's really easy to copy between files that way. Now the size is off by a little bit. That's easy. I'll just kind of position it left to right. Control T brings up the control handles. I'm just going to stretch this up. There we go. And then drag that layer underneath our new layer. And there we go. We've now changed that background to a new sky with some nice clouds in it. Of course, I could have put anything behind her at that point. Doesn't matter what you put back here. Real trick here is just to separate out your foreground from your background and then give it a new background. That technique works with all versions of Photoshop Elements. Let's now do something a little bit different in here. And let's take this image. And this time I'll leave the background as is, but we're going to paint some clouds in here into this background. Now to do that, I want to have the foreground figure here separate so I can then paint clouds in behind her. So I'll first go over here, right-hand side, right-click where it says background, duplicate layer, choose OK. Go up to Select and Subject, or you can manually select your subject. That's fine. Just draw a line around your subject until you have a selection like this. Let's zoom in a little bit and let's go to Refine Edge. I'll bring the brush size down a bit. The Refine Edge brush size is right down here. It says 35. I'll bring this down to about 10. 11 is good. And I'm just going to brush right along just the few spots in here where I see that the mask isn't quite working right. Let's just pull this in and get some of this hair in here. And this is mostly just a protective mask. Let's grab the hand right there, pull this down a bit, back to our brush, and just brush in again. So just making a basic protection mask so that I can then paint right up against the edge of this figure, and I'm not going to be losing any of the figure in here. And that should be all that we need. Let's just check this again. Okay, a little bit over here on the hand, right in there between the fingers, and that looks good. Now, since we already have a new layer in here, I'm going to output this one to a layer mask, and it puts a layer mask on that same layer. If I hide the background, you can see right there, she's now separated out from the background. And same thing for her legs right there. Okay, so that's all set to go. So she's now protected. Now you can paint right on the background layer, or you can paint on a new layer. Let's make a new layer right here. And now we need to have a special kind of brush to do this job. That's a cloud brush. So I'll have to go out and grab one of those. Let me show you where that is. I already have some, but I'll show you where I got my cloud brush from. Now there are lots of sites where you can download brushes from. I happen to like DeviantArt. You can join this. It's free to join. We can search here even without joining. I'm just going to do a search here for cloud brush. Hit the return key, and here we go. Some of these are going to cost money. Some of these are going to be for free. What you find out is you just click into that brush set like this and come down here. We can download this. It says log in to download. So I'll go ahead and I'll log into my account and we'll then download this brush set. Okay, I'm now logged in. You can see my little icon up there. There we go. Click on the download button. It's a free download. If there is any cost to this, you would see the cost right down here. Again, this one is free. Now I like to put these into a brushes folder and I have one right here. Comes down as a zip file, as you can see. Choose Save, and that's now downloaded. Okay, I'll bring up that folder now. It comes down as a zip file. Let's right-click on this. And I'm going to extract all. Choose Extract. And you should see that at the bottom of the list. There we go. That's the folder. Let's go into this, double-click. And here's our new brush file. It's an ABR. This is for Adobe Brush. So we can now go over into Photoshop Elements and load this brush in. Let's go ahead. We'll do that. Here we are. Let's grab our paintbrush. Set our foreground color to white. Come down here to Brush. Click on the three dots right here. Let's load brushes. I won't bother changing my set right there. Let's just click on a note to load that. And I'll navigate to my brushes folder, which is right here. Let's go ahead. We'll find that new brush set. That's that one. Double click. Here we go. Choose Load. And it loads in these brushes. And in here, this is the brush stroke that the cloud brush would make. We don't want to be doing any strokes in here. What we want is to use these as a stamp. The size in here is the size of the brush. If you click on your brush and you kind of hold it like that, you can see what that is. I'm just going to stamp it like that. Let's grab something else. I'll bring this over here, stamp that one in. Come back in here, let's grab something else, and I'll stamp that on like that. You can very quickly create a really nice looking cloudy sky just by using these different brushes as stamps. You also can change the brush size if you want to right down here, make a much larger brush size. There we go. So that easy to create a nice cloud sky using the existing sky, but coming in and adding in new clouds with these cloud brushes. So there you go. 3 different ways to improve the background by putting in some nice clouds into your background using 3 different very easy techniques here inside of Photoshop Elements. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about how to use Photoshop Elements, you want to get a lot of tricks in here, a lot of fancy things, I have a great tool for that. It's called my How to Guru's Photo Coach for Photoshop Elements, and it's a collection of hundreds of different articles, step-by-step instructions. I'm adding in some video right now to everything, a great reference tool for how to work with and use Photoshop Elements, and I'll put a link for that at the top of the description. If you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Also, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you next time.